ScouterStan. Let's talk a little bit about the troop chaplain and the Chaplain Aid team. Now, most units are chartered through a religious organization. Now, some are related to a school. They might be related to another type of community outreach organization. By far, the majority are with religious institutions. In that, they have the charter organization has appointed the scoutmaster, the committee chair, and a chaplain. Although the chaplain is not necessarily part of the key three, they are a critical part of the unit. This is often an adult member, usually an assistant scoutmaster, who takes on this role. Sometimes these could be members of the chartered organization, such as a clergyman, a priest, a minister, a rabbi. This would be an ideal position for them to be the chaplain for the unit. Now, typically for most Cub Scout packs, there's only the chaplain. When you get into a troop, there is a position known as the Chaplain's Aid, and there could be more than one. These Chaplain Aids are the youth members that work with the chaplain to provide services for the unit. It is important that the chaplain is involved in selecting the chaplain's aides so that they can actually work as a team. This chaplain team in a troop or a crew or even a ship, these work together to provide those services that are so vitally needed within any unit. The chaplain will offer spiritual guidance and moral support during the meetings and activities. They may conduct an organized religious service at a campout or a special event. The chaplain provides consulting services to the youth and the adults, especially when they're facing difficulties or challenges. The Chaplain's Aid, which is a youth position, assists with the religious services or prayers, especially during camping trips and ceremonies. The Chaplain's Aid can also be there as spiritually needed for all the scouts, regardless of their faith. The Chaplain's Aid should encourage scouts to live by the Scout Oath and the Scout Law and be that example. There is importance that the Chaplain Aid team is inclusive to all faiths within their unit. Most units will have different faiths, and they all should be recognized and respected. Remember, a scout is reverent, and all scouts need to be included within any of the chaplain services. Spiritual services through interfaith practices have been often referred to as Scouts' Own. We actually did an podcast about Scouts' Own. So if you look back through the catalog, you will discover that there is a podcast about Scouts' Own and how that's put together. The chaplain and the Chaplain's Aid team work together for these services, and they should be inclusive for all the faiths represented within the unit. There is a development of leadership and faith within the chaplain and Chaplain's Aid team. There's a lot of growth and leadership with the understanding of their own faith, and there should be open discussions between the Chaplain's Aid and chaplain about many of the questions that they may have concerning faith. This teaches empathy and respect for others. A lot of times, the chaplain is also the counselor for the Religious Emblem Awards. This is something that has been covered in past podcasts where we talked about Religious Emblem Awards, and there's a lot of different ones. The chaplain should be able to either teach the course or find somebody that is qualified. And this is true for all of the scouts and scouters within the unit. Another major task that should be considered is that the chaplain is to meet with new parents and scouts when they first enroll into the unit. When they join the troop, the crew, or the ship, the chaplain should be there to kind of talk to them about their faith and their needs within that faith. And those notes should be kept so that they can work on making sure and their needs are respected. There are resources and training available online through my.scouting.org and through Scouting U. This training can be for the adults and the youth. Now, these roles within the chaplain's team align themselves to the overall scouting mission, which helps develop well-rounded, morally motivated individuals. There are many challenges and rewards within the chaplain's team in both roles as a youth or as an adult. Helping others to achieve more than you ever thought you could is very rewarding. Having that moral support within their faith, the chaplain and Chaplain's Aid help the spiritual growth and make a meaningful impact to the overall unit. It's very important that the Scout Law and the Scout Oath are incorporated within your Scout's own service. This is to outline the core values of Scouting, and incorporating these points are very relevant and very helpful. I do encourage all Scouters and Scouts that are interested in the Chaplain's Aid team to get together and talk about actually developing a Scout's own service for their unit that incorporates all of the Scout values. A troop chaplain is incredibly important to every unit in Scouting, and I highly encourage that if you're looking for a place where you can help young people achieve and answer questions as they come up within a faith, it is very important that the chaplain is there to help. And we work so hard with our Scouts. This is a natural position. Now, depending on your unit, you can have chaplains for different faiths within the unit, and they work together. It's a full team system where they work together on all of their services. And we do so much for our Scouts. Let's keep up that good, hard work. And I'll see you in the sunshine and on the trail.